Time to get the show on the road. The first game between Rondebosch and SACS is documented to have taken place during World War I. Since then, both schools have played each other on almost 180 occasions, with Rondebosch enjoying most of the wins. The 2017 schoolboy rugby season paints a different picture, in that SACS have had a marvellous season, recording some historical victories. On the converse, Rondebosch have had a mixed season. 9 out of 19 games they have won. However, they still have the chance of winning the Triple Crown if they get a result here today on Memorial Day, and then a week later if they can also beat Bishops. SACS, after a loss last week against Bishops on this turf, are fighting to secure a top 10 finish. Welcome to Memorial Day on the foot of Table Mountain to this coverage of School Sport Live. And a special shout out must go to Mary Carson. Her late dad played in the 1917 fixture 100 years ago and captained Rondebosch on that day. With me in the commentary box is a Rugby 365 writer, Tauriq Ebrahim. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. As always, schoolboy rugby is where it's at. This is where the next crop of players are coming from, and I'm certainly excited to be involved here. To see, the players come out on the park and showcase exactly what they have to do.
Well, Tauriq, we've been chatting about it before the game, and it's just so interesting on what a derby occasion can do for you. And I mean, if you just look at Rondebosch's journey this season, they're playing 7 teams in the top 20. They haven't registered a victory. SACS, on the other hand, have played 8 games in the top 20, getting 6 victories there. But at the end of the day, SACS have struggled against their southern suburb counterparts, and Rondebosch already fancy their chances after SACS went down to Bishops last week.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just the thing, is that, form outside of Cape Town means absolutely nothing when it comes to the likes of SACS, Rondebosch, Bishops and Wynberg. Whenever these sides are playing against each other, the opposition just lifts themselves. If the side, maybe opposition, is ranked a little bit above you, that means nothing. Because when you get onto the field, anything can happen. We saw it last week with Bishops. Bishops were the ranked underdogs, but they ended up winning the game 15-12. Rondebosch must have seen that result and thinking to themselves, today is the day. Today we can win this game.
And also Rondebosch are coming off the back of an impressive victory against Wynberg on the Tinky Haynes field last week at 25 points to 16. The team sheets are in front of you. If we just look at the Rondebosch side, watch out for loose head prop Seth Christensen. He's scored a try in every single game for the last 3 games. Pretty remarkable. Matt Ginsberg, the hooker. The tight head prop is Shakir Sali. Matty Gray and Braden Tredu are the lock combination. And then watch out for Sabi Ahmedin, Jason McLeod-Smith and Carl Smith, who form the loose trio. Robbie Davis, he's been a constant thorn in the SACS team for the last 4 games, even last year in the first side. He creates a lot of tries and he creates a lot of drama as well. Ross Stone getting a shot at fly off. Ethan Seymour on the left wing. King Saka Sali forms a centre combination with DJ Faulkner. On the right wing is Jordan Child. And then watch out for Ross Ruder, the fullback of Bosch. He normally plays on the wing, but he's got a Jason Robinson in persona about him. The SACS team, if we look at the SACS side, Josh Hayes getting a shot at loose head prop. Ethan England is the hooker coming in for Kalipa. Big opportunity for them today. Josh Barrett is the tight head prop. And then Big Rig, who normally plays loose head prop, is locking down there with Sean Menard, number 5. Got a Sam White-like persona about him. Craig Bailleen, Declan O'Connor, and Oliver Skiermans gets a first start since the Cape Schools Week back in early July. Oh, captain, my captain, Lucky Jlepu at number 9. And at number 10 is Sir David Hayes. Give it to the Jet Shoes man, Aaron Zederberg on the left wing. Watch out for him in the multicolored scrum cap. Chad van der Loo and the Crazy Frog, Ben Mazulu, gets a chance at 13. On the right wing is Kabela Mokwena. And at fullback is Michael Lehoff Penny Abrams. Two great sides coming together here today. Tauriq, no one knows what is going to happen here. Bosch have a chance to get the Triple Crown if they win here today, and then they win on the Tinky Haynes Fields next week against Bishops.
As you said, you know, Rondebosch has been phenomenal when it comes to these matches against their old foes. You know, taking into account that the previous time these sides played each other, which was not too long ago, they ended up in a 14-all draw. You know, so that's another thing that Rondebosch has got in the back of their minds, is that we can push SACS all the way, and we can possibly get a result as well. You know, we mentioned it earlier about the Bishops result beating SACS last week. Rondebosch has got to be licking their lips. You know, regardless of them not having any Craven Week players. Whereas SACS has got, you know, obviously Captain Lucky Dlepu, who captained the Western Province Craven Week side as well. Rondebosch, I'm sure, is thinking that means absolutely nothing to us in this game. It's all about the next 70 minutes. They're going to come out here, and I'm sure we're going to see some fireworks from Rondebosch.
And also, Tauriq, you mentioned it was a draw back in June between these two sides. Remarkably, on the same field last year, May 2016, it was a 28-all draw, and Robbie Davis had a big say in that result. During the end of the game, he went down the blind side and he found his inside runner, James Janse van Rensburg, or should I say rather, Van Rensburg, and he scored that remarkable try. And actually, we've just been told that Gareth Schenkler, Matthew Krobler, and James van Rensburg and the first side from last year are watching this game. I hope you enjoyed it. It's great to know that you guys are watching. Tauriq, what a beautiful setting here. It's really a wonderful setting for a wonderful match.
Yeah, no, anytime you're at the foot of the Table Mountain, you know, it's just a sight to behold. And, you know, not only that, but you see all the school kids start lining up, you know, anticipation of their team running out onto the field. And just the atmosphere that these guys create on the side of the field, you're going to hear it throughout the 70 minutes. It's just something to behold. It's what makes schoolboy rugby that exciting.
Definitely indeed. And also, a lot of Springboks have come through both of these schools. SACS have produced 27 Springboks. On the converse, Rondebosch, they produced 21 Boks. And it's been quite a while since both these schools have produced the Springboks. The earliest from SACS is Sir Percy Montgomery, who was the first South African player to reach 100 tests. And he's also scored the most points in a Springbok jersey. And then on the other hand, Kobani Bobo from Rondebosch, who made his debut way back in 2003. We just look at that also in that side where Kobani Bobo, when he played in 97, a lot of star players in that side, the Sawunda brothers, Gareth Wright at 5, and even the coach, Mark Lindenberg, played in that team with Richard Smith, the Bishops coach, who is recovering from that tragedy. And he was here last week in that memorable game where Bishops came up against the odds and got a victory over SACS. And after the game, they did a massive war cry around him. And Tauriq, I think that just shows that this is a game of rugby, but there's a lot more at stake.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, you speak about the tragedy that Richard Smith had to go through, and he's well on his way to recovery. It was absolutely nice to see him, you know, on the side of the field supporting the boys. And, you know, conversely, to see the Bishop side come out and give Richard Smith that performance that he's been yearning for, just to help him on his path to recovery, it's absolutely amazing to see. Richard, once again, you know, we wish you all the best in this final phase of recovery, and we hope to see you again on the side of the field, you know, coaching these youngsters and making sure that these youngsters get the fundamentals that they need to progress in their rugby career.
Well, Rondebosch are taking the field. They are eyeing their first win over a top 20 school this season. And if there's ever a chance, it's today. SACS, on the other hand, well, up till last week, they had only lost 2 games in the country, going down to Paul Ruiz and then Paul Boys. and Tauriq, they really need to win here if they want to look to stay in the top 10 and keep their season or their hallmark season in a piece.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, you know, all pressure's going to be on SACS at the moment. You know, they are supposedly the form side, you know, the inside Rugby 365's top 20, and in fact, they're inside the top 5. You know, so, you know, these guys have got plenty to prove considering last week's defeat. And if there's ever a game where they need to, you know, prove themselves that, you know, they absolutely belong in the top 10 of the best teams in the country and the best schools in the country, it's this game where they're going to put Rondebosch to the sword.
And also it's a perfect ref for a perfect match, Sir Jonathan Kaplan, who has refereed the most test matches in the world. The incredible veteran, as Rondebosch look to get proceedings underway on Memorial Day. It's vital that they get a good kickoff here. Sir Robbie Davis will be taking the kick. Players almost ready to go. Jonathan Kaplan looking at his time. And he signals time on. Robbie Davis. And can you believe it? Look at that start to the game. The ball's all over the place. And Bosch, it's worked out for them. Robbie Davis. Oh, captain, my captain. And he finds Ahmedin, who carries it up the middle. Advantage Bosch at the moment. And he has the big loose head prop, Seth Christian. But he's knocked it on. And SACS have a chance to counter-attack here. Oliver Skurmans has to play a scrum off. Lucky Tlepu with a little chip and chase. And King Sakasali might be wrapped up here with a choke tackle. SACS's ultimate weapon in the 2017 season. And as a result, Tauriq, they've got the turnover.
Yeah, there we see already an exciting start. Maybe the kickoff was planned to be that way, a little grubber through, you know, to get the packer forwards to get hold of the ball, which Rondebosch did. Unfortunately, things went a bit array up in midfield. It kind of always happens when you have a tight head or a loose head in the midfield trying to carry the ball there. But no, fortunately, nothing really came of it. SACS had the ball for a brief moment. Lucky Dlepu tried to get things going. Unfortunately for him, the Rondebosch defense was on hand to snuffle that out. But here we see the first scrum of the game.
Tlepu feeds, vital that SACS skid. A first good scrum, and they've delivered. David Hayes to Mazulo, the number 13. Second game at outside centre for him. Normally plays on the right wing. Tlepu finds Barrett, who crashes it up. That's his 10,000 carry of the season, and he thinks it too. His lock partner, Ethan Berger, who normally plays at loose head prop. Stroma at ruck time at the moment. Taking a while to come out of there. Bosch will be loving this. Tlepu digging in like a demented mole. And it's a turnover and it's a penalty, Tauriq.
There we go. You just see perfect defense from the Rondebosch boys there. They knew that as soon as SACS is going to hit the ground, they had the numbers, got somebody over the ball in a strong position, got his hands on the ball, and ensured that, you know, referee Jonathan Kaplan saw what he was doing. It was all legal, wrapped his hands around the ball, forcing the turnover, and now Rondebosch will have a chance to take the lead.
So it'll be Ross Stone who will have a shot at goal from about 45 meters out. Had a good game last week against Wynberg in that 25 points to 16 victory. It's vital that he sends this ball home to draw first blood. Ross Stone. Stone then. It's a decent strike. And he's given that a monster smack. First blood Rondebosch on enemy turf.
Some nice technique there from the youngster. In his approach, calmed himself down. Didn't have anything fancy about him. No Dan Bigger-like things about him. A standard, place the ball, take my few steps back, calm myself, breathe in a little bit. into the ball, perfect strike, head down, and just watch it sail over the bar.
All about taking your points and converting. And Rostone did just that. David Hayes with the restart. And Fanta takes that. Jason McLeod-Smith, they call them Fanta, as they set up this roving maul. It's a good little steam engine going there. And it's still going at the moment. Lovely stuff by Rondebosch. Davis has a snipe going blind. And he finds Ethan Seymour. This guy's got pace. And Oliver Skurmans, in his first start for SACS since the Cape Schools week, makes a great tackle, Tauriq.
Yeah, nice little break there from the scrum half down the blind side, exposing SACS a little bit on the outside. Makes sure he draws the final defender to release his winger. Unfortunately for him, the SACS cover defense was on hand to bundle him into touch.
Ethan England getting a rare start at hooker. And that's a disappointing throw. And Seth Christian, the loose head prop, he's got a bag of tricks, and he could finish here for the first try of the game. And the ref is going to have to consult here. And remarkable, he didn't finish, Tauriq.
Yeah, he did everything right. He pounced on the loose ball, got ahead of the defender, raced towards the corner. But I think he got a bit of white line fever there as he thought, wait, I'm going to score the first try of this game. Got tackled and unfortunately lost the ball in it.
And so it would have also been his 4th try in 4 games as well, a loose head prop, the Sona Tomalola of Rondebosch. And SACS really under the cosh here. They're going to have to get a big scrum. Klepu with the feed. It's a solid platform to work off. And they crash it up through the Beaver, Chad van der Loo. The number 12 plays with a lot of pride and passion. SACS look to be patient. And this could be turned, yeah it is. The tight head prop, Shaka Sali, Carl Smith. And yes, DJ Faulkner, the human juggernaut. And he scores first. The first try of the game to Rondebosch, try time.
Yeah, Rondebosch showing their dominance at the breakdown once again. Excuse me. Once again, isolating the SACS defenders, ensuring that they've at least 2 people at the breakdown. Win the turnover. It's 2 quick passes out to the outside center, and that guy knows his way to the try line.
Just look at the highlight trio. Yeah, beautiful play. Carl Smith finding DJ Faulkner and the human juggernaut. Well, they weren't going to stop him then. Even 3 SACS players couldn't bring him down. The Academy Week team, he was in that side in July.
That just shows you what happens when you keep it simple. You draw a defender in before shoveling the ball on. He had plenty of work still to do, but he's a big guy. He's got a big frame. 3 defenders couldn't take him down. Well done to him.
So, Rostone with a chance to add the extra points to go out to a 10-0 lead. SACS under the cosh in the opening 7 minutes. It's been a marvelous start for Rondebosch. Rostone. It's a good strike. No problem. 10 points to 0.
Once again, excellent technique from the fly half. Keeps his head down, makes sure of the contact. And when you're kicking it that clean, it's always going to fly through the middle.
Rondebosch this season, they've struggled with their place kicking, but you wouldn't think that after those 2 shots by Rostone, the fly-off. It's a good take there by Rondebosch. Matty Gray. Davis having a little snipe. Brilliant break by Davis with a point to prove. Not in any Western Province team this year. And it's a penalty to Rondebosch. Tauriq, Rondebosch in full control here.
Yeah, this is exactly the start that Rondebosch wanted. Keeping SACS under pressure, making sure that they hang on to position, but not only that, find the little half gaps for those breaks. And we've seen it now a few times, at least 2 times, that Rondebosch has gone down the blind side, caught SACS unaware, and now we see them with an opportunity to kick the ball further up and set up an attacking platform up in SACS's half.
DJ Faulkner, the number 13. A lot of jungle oats on that one. They've got a line out on the 22. Robbie Davis immediately has been a thorn in SACS' side. He's already scored 2 tries in a first-team jumper against SACS, and he'll be looking to get a third. 2 incredible line breaks by the number 9. Ginsberg with the feed. Cole Smith, Ajmodin. Christian makes an error there, and SACS get out of jail. They need to wake up. That's the oldest school in the country. David Hayes decides to clear. And that's a promising kick.
Yeah, I think Christensen there just getting his eyes up a little bit too early, worried about the tackler that's coming, doesn't watch the ball, forces the knock on. SACS can breathe a sigh of relief, but it's an excellent clearance to get his side out of their 22 and up to the halfway line.
So Bosch just inside SACS' half. Matty Ginsberg with a crucial feed here to the lineouts. And he finds Fanta, McLeod Smith. Robbie Davis at fly off. Here they go. King Sakasali taking it to the line. Good carry there by the number 12. Davis. Ginsberg pock him up but fly off. The number 2. Davis. Trudeau. Stone. Some space at the back there. Michael Abrams, as safe as a house, gives it to Tlepu, and there could be trouble here from their own goal line. Mizulo taking contact hard. Good defense by Rondebosch. Tlepu with the box kick, and that's a great touch finder by the Western Province Craven Week player.
Rondebosch putting SACS under all sorts of pressure at the moment. SACS' only option is to hang on, try and absorb all this pressure. Make sure that the defensive line is set up properly so that Rondebosch doesn't break through as often as they have been. And that's all that they are left to do inside the 22 is kick the ball out and hopefully push Rondebosch back inside their own half.
Well, that's the go-to player, Fanta. And Ahmedin carries it up. Also plays in the front row. Davis going blind. They find a lot of space down this left part of the field. King Sakasali throws the ball, but Capello Mokwena comes to the rescue for SACS. Rondebosch, my goodness, Tauriq, they're playing like a top 20 team here at the moment.
No, Rondebosch certainly seems to be up for it, and SACS they look a bit out of sorts at the moment. You know, this blind side is really killing them. I don't think they're reading it quite well, but let's hope that they learn from it as this game progresses.
Fanta again, Davis, Stone, Faulkner, Seymour, beautiful stuff here. Ruda, he's electric. They got to bring him down immediately, because he's got a step like a phantom. Davis, Seth Christians, a loose set prop, carrying it up on the right side of the field. Patience is the name of the game. Matty Gray, Davis, Stone, Faulkner, and he's going to have a go himself. The big number 13. Stone, beautiful player. Cole Smith, wonderful hands. And that man, Ross Ruda, scores. What a start here for Rondebosch, it must be said. Ross Ruda, the number 15. Yeah,
it takes a lot to come to your opposition's home ground and then dominate the opening 12 minutes like Rondebosch have. You know, they've maintained possession, they've played rugby in the right areas of the field, and they've placed the SACS defense under all sorts of pressure, committing numbers at the breakdown, you know, getting themselves the space out wide, and they're exploiting it at the moment.
Ross Ruda, a try-scoring machine, scored 2 tries against Bishops on the Piley Reese this season in that wonderful victory 2 months ago. Ross Stone with a shot from the corner. And Rondebosch have really been impressive in this opening 13 minutes. Stone to put the hammer down from the corner.
Now, we spoke about this before kickoff, is that when it comes to these derby games, the so-called underdog doesn't need much to get himself up for the game. And we've seen it right now. You know, Rondebosch are certainly in the ascendancy. They are absolutely loving life at the moment. They're dominating possession, they're dominating territory, and at least, you know, they've managed to put the points on the board.
Stone then. Another good strike. And unfortunately, he's just missed it, but that was a great strike by the young number 10.
Yeah, he continues to kick it nice and cleanly, nice and crisp. Unfortunately for that occasion, it just drifts to the right of the uprights. But he certainly's got his kicking boots on, because that didn't miss by much. We said Rondebosch enjoying themselves right now with this 15-love lead after 14 minutes.
So Matty Gray having a little bit of a problem at the restart, and Robbie Davis says, if in doubt, kick it out.
Robbie Davis again, for the 4th time now, look towards the blind side. You know he's been exposing SACS on that side. Unfortunately, there wasn't an option on that occasion. All he could do was pop it over into touch.
Important for SACS to get the next points. A little bit of drama at the line-out time. Both supporters making a lot of noise. Ethan England with the feed, gets it right this time. Tlepu, David Hayes, Chad van der Loo, the Beaver up the middle. And it's a penalty. Tlepu, he might have a go. This time, patience prevails. It'll be interesting to see what they do here, Tauriq.
I'm sure they'll have a shot at poles, and then we see Jonathan Kaplan pointing towards the poles. They've been under pressure for so long that it's kind of the first time they're in Rondebosch 22. So, the first time you get there, you get a penalty. Let's pop the ball over. Let's try and get ourselves some points on the board, and hopefully that boosts the morale of the SACS side.
Well, Michael Abrams, it's a great kicker of the ball. Reminds me a lot of Lee Half-Petty with the way he plays the game. He's as safe as a house. Abrams. No problem.
Easy kick for him, but I want to touch on something that happened there as he was standing and composing himself. This is what rugby should be about. Both sets of fans, be it the home side or the opposition, everybody was quiet, allowing the youngster, to have that moment to himself, to compose himself, and not have cheers all around him. So you got to commend, both sets of fans for that. But yeah, an excellent kick from Abrams. Call it regulation in front of the uprights inside the 22, but SACS on the board after 16 minutes of play.
Vital points there. Davis again with a mixie kickoff, and it's picked up by Jean Menard, the number 5. Bosch trying to go in for the choke tackle, and they've got it. A taste of their own medicine for SACS.
Good defense there from Rondebosch, getting their arms wrapped around the ball, holding the opposition player up, forcing the maul, because at that point, if it goes to ground, you're going to turn the position over. So well done to Rondebosch for that defense. So, not many critics or supporters would have predicted this opening 17 minutes. You've got Rondebosch here, who are well outside the top 20, and then you've got SACS, who are in 5th place, and boy, they've got a mountain to climb here, Tauriq. Yeah, all pressure, like we said now, is clearly on the shoulders of SACS. The experience that they've had of playing against, the other top 20 sides and beating them. Let's hope that comes out now, and that they end up taking the game to Rondebosch. But it's kind of hard to take the game to your opposition when you don't have the ball.
So, brilliant play there by Davis. Ethan Seymour, the left winger, joining the line. It's slowed for Bosch. And that's a good carry there by Smits. Fanta popping up in the line. Bosch are in a mean and hungry mood at the moment, looking for their 3rd try of the game. Smits, the courageous player. What an offload. Seth Christian has his 4th try in 4 games.
There we see it. Rondebosch are certainly up for this game. Every time somebody carries the ball, they're running hard lines straight at the SACS defense. It's up to SACS players then to stick their tackles. Unfortunately, on this occasion, once again, we see SACS slipping tackles and allows the player to break the line. A little chicken wing, call it sunny ball, whatever you want to call it, offload there to the prop. And well, it's a try under the uprights. It's going to be an easy conversion attempt.
Sono Tomalolo, eat your heart out. Seth Christian, 4 tries in 4 games for the loose head prop. And Rostone has an easy shot at goal. Doesn't take that much time, straight through
Nobody would have predicted this start from Rondebosch, that I can guarantee you. They're fired up. You can just see the attitude and the body language of the players. All of their heads are up, their shoulders are back, they've got the broad chest out. They've come to SACS. They've come to SACS to play.
SACS really in need of a 5-pointer. David Hayes hanging restarts. Fanta under it again. The blindside flanker. Bosch setting up a maul. It's been a controlled opening 20 minutes from the school. Stone. Good hands by Ginsberg. Faulkner causing big problems for SACS. Good run by the human juggernaut. Davis. Ajmodin. The open side flanker. Davis goes blind. And SACS getting away there. They'll be loving that. Rondebosch had a lot of numbers on the left-hand side of the field, but they decided to go blind.
I think what has been key to Rondebosch's attacking is that they're getting every single player involved. You know, be it a forward, be it a backline player. All of them want to have the ball. They want to have a crack at the SACS defense. They want to have a run with the ball, and that's been absolutely fantastic. Every player from 1 to 15 has been involved in basically all of their attacks, and SACS is just trying to hang on for as long as they can.
Well, Captain Tlepu, he has to step up. Skeurmans to Tlepu, Zederberg on the right. And they find Chad van der Loo, the number 12, with a healthy carry. Tlepu, the short pass. This quick ball for SACS. Ethan Berger, the number 4. Good strong carry by Big Rig. David Hayes comes right. Zederberg, Mr. Dancing Shoes. SACS with rare possession at the moment. It's a good carry by the SACS forwards. Tlepu, Minar. Big hits on Declan O'Connor by Seth Christian. Bosch going for the turnover. Tlepu, Michael Abrams popping up at fly off. Tlepu, Josh Barrett, Basil they call him. And he's under pressure by big DJ Faulkner and Ajmodin. Tlepu, Big Reg. Almost going backwards there. Tlepu, David Hayes. Going for the educated boots. And that's a great kick by Sir David Hayes. Probably the right thing to do. Put Bosch down in their half.
That's a perfect decision there from David Hayes. He saw he didn't have any other options. Rondebosch's defense was all up in the line. Little kick over the top. Push Rondebosch back close to the 5-meter line. But the interesting thing about this has been every time SACS has got the ball and they get to a breakdown, the first pass, the person receiving the ball has always been static. You know, there's been no extra movement, and that so far has been the difference between SACS and Rondebosch. When Rondebosch get the ball, you know, their first receiver's on the move. He knows what he's going to do, whereas SACS have been pretty static.
Davis finds Stone. My goodness, when that ball comes down, there'll be snow on it. Zederberg, he's dangerous from here. Aaron Zederberg, beating 1, beating 2. The left winger. Played in the Grand Como side 2 years ago, Zederberg. O'Connor, good hands. And then unfortunately, commentators cursed, that's got into touch.
Zederberg looks like he got a good rugby brain on him. He knew as the ball was coming down, he weighed up his options, he saw where the gaps were, went for it. Unfortunately for him, Rondebosch managed to get the cover defense in place. And, you know, SACS retained the ball, but once again, you know, a little bit too hasty maybe in the attack on that occasion, trying to shovel the ball on as quickly as they can. Nobody on the outside to collect the final pass.
My goodness. Fanta, Jason McLeod-Smith has been outstanding at line-out time. And look at that, Matty Gray, but it's a penalty. So, SACS, decision time.
I'm sure we'll see SACS go for the corner on this occasion. I don't think they'll want to have a kick at goal. I think it's the point, you know, at least the time in the half where you know you kind of have a little bit of position, you have a little bit of ascendancy. So let's get Rondebosch back inside the 22. Let's keep the pressure up on them, and hopefully something comes from this lineup of SACS.
Ethan England, the vital lineouts. Will SACS look to get the engine going here, or will they use their fiery backs? Challenging times for the oldest school in the country. Scrappy lineouts, but they still have it. Big Reg at number 4, carrying it up. Inside Bosch's 22, Tlepu. Barrett. Tlepu finds Declan O'Connor. Tlepu goes blind. Back to Jean Menard. This is brilliant defense by Bosch, and they've got the turnover. No, they don't. Be coming back for the penalty. So Bosch need to be careful here, Tauriq, with the penalties that they're giving away.
Especially inside of 22, you don't want to be giving away a lot of penalties there. You'll probably end up getting firstly the warning and then getting a player sent to the bin. But SACS certainly have got the upper hand at the moment. They are retaining possession, which is nice to see. And on that play, it was good to see that the first receiver actually got the ball while in motion and not being static, which is creating the problems for Rondebosch defense.
Well, 22 points to 3. If SACS can get a score, or get the next 5 points, they're well back in the game. There's a lot to play for on Memorial Day. SACS looking to secure their top 10 place. Bosch looking to keep their triple crown hopes alive. Tlepu finds Zederberg. They've got numbers on the right here, SACS. Bosch, bring him down. Abrams, or first receiver. He's a snippy customer. Michael Abrams. SACS with a golden opportunity. Ethan England, the number 2, carrying it up. Capella Mokwena at first receiver. SACS looking hungry. Tlepu, the captain. Bosch throwing hammer and tongs at SACS. SACS about 2 meters out. It's penalty advantage. Bosch have got to watch their discipline. Tlepu finds Declan O'Connor. Even though it's a penalty, it's been outstanding defense by Rondebosch.
Yeah, Rondebosch have been making every single one of their first time tackles. They're making sure that SACS, if they do get over the advantage line, they're not getting too far, and that has allowed them, the cover defense, to get back into position and realign themselves so that for the next play, their defensive line is set, and SACS have got to figure out how to get through them.
Well, SACS will be very frustrated that they haven't managed to get a clean break through this Rondebosch defense. And we're going to have a tap here. There's some devious stuff coming up here, Tauriq, and they've lost the ball. As a result, well, the cheers are going up from the Rondebosch supporters. And look at this, they're going to run it from their own goal line. Ross Ruder, the danger man. Jason Robertson, eat your heart out. Look at this. Amazing break by the fullback. Davis. And this time, well, this is interesting, and there could be big trouble here. This is surely a card that didn't need to happen, Tauriq.
Yeah, there we see something. SACS up in the ascendancy, trying something fancy from a set piece, doesn't pay off. Rondebosch counters attack, gets himself ahead. An excellent little option there to go for the cross kick. Unfortunately, the Rondebosch wing didn't time his tackle too easily. The SACS winger himself identified the situation, got up into the air to claim the ball, knowing that the defender's right on him, and kind of milks that penalty. Rondebosch pretty lucky not to be down to 14 men after that.
Well, Jonathan Captain trying to do the best thing for the game and not give a yellow card. Rondebosch can count their lucky stars that Jordan Child didn't get sent off. Does Child's play really there on the right wing?
I think he got lucky because that was kind of the first tackle like that for the entire game so far. And Kaplan, using all his experience, identifies that and knows that there's so much in the game already that he just needs to calm the player down and get him to settle a bit more.
I think if good old Quacker Smith was watching this, he'd be very upset with that call. Tlepu finds Craig Berlin. Crashes it up the middle, the open side flanker. Tlepu, David Hayes, Chad Vanderloo, Michael Abrams and Kabela Mokwena with an electrifying right step up towards the 22. Tlepu, David Hayes, Basil meets Braden Trudeau. Tlepu, Declan O'Connor, good pass by the open side flanker. Berlin again with a second carry in these phases of play. Tlepu, Josh Hay was a standout in the Cape Schools week, the loose head prop. David Hayes, show and go, the Bernard Foley lookalike. This is remarkable defense by Bosch, but as I say that, they give a penalty away, and Bosch need to keep their discipline. Kaplan And he's given the yellow card. Well, it had to come at some stage. It's Sakasali who's going off.
Yeah, Rondebosch just testing Jonathan Kaplan a little bit too much, especially in their 22. You know, SACS clearly now have the ascendancy. Their runners, their first-time runners they're getting onto the ball this time. They're not static in their approach. And Rondebosch defense has been they look frail at the moment. And now, you know, going down the man, this is where SACS has they've got to capitalize on the extra man, especially with the last 6 minutes of this half left to come.
Pinpoint Tauriq, 6 minutes to go in this first half. SACS need a score to have a good half-time talk with the possibility of winning this game.
They've got to make the most of the scrum opportunity. They've been excellent in the scrums thus far, dominating Rondebosch. So this has got to be the ideal setup for them to get themselves over the try line, hopefully, and then you know, building on that in the last few minutes then to get themselves back into this game, narrow the gap down, and head into the sheds with the momentum.
So Bosch won't mind the second sticking. Fanta getting summoned. Not sure what he was really doing there. And number 7, who also plies his trade at lock. As well, interesting enough is Modin as well. Sometimes plays on the hooker and in the front row, but playing open side flank. Tlepu. This is an impressive scrum by SACS. David Hayes. Options here. Great defense by Jordan Child. Making up for the penalty he gave away earlier. And Kaplan gives the scrum to SACS.
No, excellent work there from Jordan Child. He read the play brilliantly, got himself up as quickly as he could. As soon as he saw the pass heading towards Zederberg, you know, got himself up there. Bit of a, you can call it a rush defense. Smothered his opponent with ball and all. You know, ensured that bought his side a little bit more time. And as we see it again, SACS, you know, remain on the attack. They remain in a good position with a scrum feed and a scrum that they've dominated for most of the game thus far.
SACS need to put the hammer down now. Bosch with 14 men on the field. Hayes. Kapela Mokwena over the 22. Good short ball by the right winger. SACS looking hungry. Tlepu. Manar, and he's lost it. And here come Rondebosch now. The race is on. But we're going back for the scrum.
That's just the thing with SACS is that, yes, they know that they are man up. They know that they have the ascendancy. And over-eagerness is what's going to be their downfall. And we've just seen it now. They're trying too quickly. They're trying to get things going a little bit too fast instead of just, you know, keeping calm, keeping at their processes, sticking to what the coaches told them to do. And that is what led to the knock-on. And Rondebosch has an opportunity now to get themselves out of danger. And the thing about these scrums, though, it's eating up a lot of time. So that Zakasali, his time on the sidelines will be lessened a little bit and won't have much of an impact on what's happening on the field.
Davis with the feed. Comes blind again. Faulkner with the offload. Davis. And he does remarkably well there because he could see that SACS are trying to get the choke tackle in. It's wonderful stuff at ruck time there. It's like a bunch of terriers in that ruck, Tauriq. As Bosch enjoying the copper stump here at the moment. Seth Christian, the loose head prop. Bosch. They all love this, just eating away at the clock before half time. SACS are frustrated. Ginsberg. Pick and go by the number 2. Oh, captain, my captain, Robbie Davis. And that is not the best kick by the number 9. But somehow Bosch still have it. Davis again. Ethan Seymour. Sean Manar going for the choke tackle. Scrum time, Rondebosch.
Yeah, Rondebosch doing the right thing. They know they are under a little bit of pressure. Maintain possession. Take the ball through the phases. Whether it's 1 meter at a time or not, doesn't really matter. We're eating the clock down, you know, making it feel as though we are 15 men on the field. Applying the pressure onto SACS, and you know, unfortunately for SACS, they just seem to be in a little bit of disarray. They're not sure exactly, you know, what is going on, how they're going to get themselves into the game, and Rondebosch are feeding off that. And everything has come out of scrum off Robbie Davis. He's just been the man at the moment. You know, he's dominating, he's dictating, he's just making sure that his side knows exactly what is coming.
Tauriq, it's the Sir Robbie Davis show at the moment as he looks to feed. Rondebosch under pressure at scrum time. Davis cleans up the dirt. And Rondebosch doing everything in their power not to leak any points before half-time with 14 men on the field. Jason McLeod-Smith, number 7, carries it up.
Blindside.
This is what Bosch are good at.
Ollie blindside.
Tinky Haynes would be proud. Ginsberg carrying it up. And here's the loose head prop, Seth Christian. He's had a storm of a game. Pops up everywhere. Davis. Shaka Sali. Back to Davis. Boy, he's been a handful. And there they've lost it. So SACS with an opportunity now to get the score before half-time. Zederberg, he'll have a go. Aaron Zederberg. He's got electrifying feet. Does the left winger. Glepu goes blind to Oliver Skumans. This could be trouble. David Hayes. There was a deliberate knockdown. And Hayes is carrying it up. SACS looking to take advantage. Josh Hay. Up the middle of the road. Glepu puts it onto the boot. Mokwena giving chase. But Ross Ruder is as safe as a house at the back.
Oh, once again, SACS is, when they're getting possession, they seem a little bit frazzled. They're not sure which option to take. So, you know, there's not real continuity as opposed to Rondebosch. You think at the moment that SACS is down to 14 men the way they're playing. But, you know, Rondebosch knows that all they need to do is keep the composure, force SACS to make the mistakes. And that is it for half-time.
Well, 22 points to 3. Not many would have guessed this. It's been a mighty performance from the men in the gold and blue.
As we said, you know, it doesn't take much for teams to put themselves up for a game where it's derby, where it's, you know, southern suburb sides and going at it. We know the history between these two sides, and Rondebosch has come out and they've shown that, you know, we're here to play. We're here to prove to you that we're actually much better. We've had a much better run in now than we have all season. And SACS, under the cosh, under pressure, seem very frazzled. They seem very disjointed. Nothing seems to be going their way, and Rondebosch are just sitting back and feeding off all of this.
Having said that, though, Rondebosch still need to be at their best in the second half. SACS know how to come from behind. They've done it against Paul Jim. Same deficit, 19 points. The Giants will wake up at some time in the second half.
Well, let's hope that they wake up as soon as the second half gets underway, so we can see the SACS team, you know, play the way that they've been playing against the bigger sides. You know, it's all about, right now, it's going to come down to that mental attitude of we want this more than Rondebosch, because as it seems, Rondebosch definitely wants it more. It shows up on the scoreboard. You know, SACS have, in their halftime huddle now, they've just got to compose themselves, get everybody back onto the same page, and just go through exactly what needs to be done in order for them to get themselves back into this contest.
And also Tauriq. Great.
He's bought the newspaper from Jabu on his way to work for as long as he can remember. Always the same corner, the same time, only the front page changes. They debate the most important matters in the world until the robot turns green. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that keeps your conversation going, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing. Their romance started with love notes, then texting. And even now that he's hundreds of kilometers away, they stay close, one video chat at a time. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your connection possible, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing.
Well, we're almost set to go in the second half. Rondebosch are basically showing that they really want to win the Triple Crown. They've got 35 minutes to go here. They can come away with a victory. It'll be game on the Tinky Haynes field next week against Bishops, but they can't get too far ahead of themselves. SACS have all to play for to keep their top 10 ranking in the country alive. Challenging times for the oldest school in the country. 19 points down. They're in desperate need of a victory. And news just in, Bishops are well ahead in their encounter against Wynberg on the Paddy Reese at 17 points to 8. So if Rondebosch do win this one and Bishops do beat Wynberg, whoever wins that game will win the Triple Crown. Will SACS have something to say about that in the second half? David Hayes kicks it to the danger man, Carl Smits, and he'll have a go. His brother, Rain Smits, played for Bristol. He's playing for Bristol, and he also played for Western Province. Scored 19 tries in the 2011 season. And Seymour works that left side of the field. SACS, some early possession in the second half, and they've got a penalty. Tlepu wastes no time, and he's got a step two. The captain trying to peel away for a remarkable score. SACS, can they be patient? And can they claw their way back into this game? The time is now to set the stage for the second half. Tlepu pops it on the inside to Aaron Zederberg. He has a go. Tlepu. Barrett, scrappy ball for him, but makes no mistake in gathering that ball. Tlepu. Oliver Skiermans, the number 8. Good defense by Bosch, trying to go for the choke tackle again. Tlepu. Scrappy stuff. And Kaplan signals scrum to Rondebosch.
Much better from SACS. Is exactly what we want to see them to come out in the second half and to really take the game to Rondebosch. And much is going to depend on the way Lucky Tlepu dictates things. And we've seen that, what he did just there now. That little snipe of a break, gets his side onto the front foot. The rest of the players will feed off that energy. So, as much as you don't want to put a lot of pressure on a single player, much of the play of SACS is going to revolve around him and exactly how he gets things going.
Robbie Davis having the upper hand at the moment at scrum off. And that's a good carry by Mr. Smith. Bosch, patient. Going for the clearance. Have they found touch? Kabela Mokwena. Quick throw. It's all on ya. Abrams. Lucky Tlepu. With a grubber. And that's a knock on there. Tauriq. So Bosch, they won't mind this at all.
No, not at all, but much better from SACS. We can see them, they want to play now, they want to come out here and they want to throw the ball around, they want to get everybody involved in it. That's exactly what we want to see. This is the SACS of old, this is the SACS side, that has beaten the likes of Paul Jim and they've beaten the likes of Boyle and Landbo. This is what now, this is going to come down, especially this first 10 minutes is where SACS has got to stamp the authority on the game, put Rondebosch under pressure, which they haven't been doing in the first half, and make sure that Rondebosch's defense is kept honest.
Just on Cole Smith, the Bosch number 8, played in the Catabia Week team. As I mentioned earlier, his brother scored 19 tries in the 2011 season. And that actually sparked a lot of controversy at Rondebosch because they thought it was the most tries a Bosch player ever scored. And so some players from the 1977 team had something to say about that. And they reckon that Brent Farrell has scored 28 tries in that season back in 1977. Anyways, Tauriq, SACS, you just feel that they need to score a try soon.
Yeah, no, we've seen it. They've been dominant. The one thing that they've been doing well this game is that they've dominated the scrums. They've put Rondebosch under immense amount of under pressure. And let's hope at this stage, even though they're defending the scrum, it's still inside Rondebosch's half, that they can get the tight head, turn over possession. And there we see it again, SACS with a powerful scrum, pushing Rondebosch back and forcing them to play off the back foot.
Well, the man with the yellow card back on the field, Sali. Davis coming blind to Jordan Child. He's a big boy, Jordan Child. Takes it up towards halfway. Smith. And yes, Vanta having a go. Popping it to Trudeau, the number 5. This is great play by Rondebosch. They are not stuffing around. Rostone, and here's the danger man again. Ruda pops it to his left winger, Ethan Seymour. SACS heavily under pressure here. Shaka Sali. Bosch looking to give SACS a killer blow just after half time.
Where has this Rondebosch side been all season? I mean, every time they're getting the ball, they're maintaining position long enough that they're getting over the advantage line, you know, making sure that at each breakdown they've got the numbers there to make it clean, get the ball out quickly, and get the runners up and you know, place SACS under all sorts of pressure. We've just seen that now. They've had a scrum close to their 22, and the inside SACS is 22, looking to score another try.
So yeah, Bosch. The break could come at any time, and yes, Seth Christian being a standout player. Off the toe, Faulkner, and he might have got it down. It's a try. That is a big moment in the game. TJ Faulkner has a double.
Absolute opportunistic try there. The ball was a bit scrappy. He had the presence of mind just to tow it ahead. Knew he if he had to dig down and pick the ball up, he probably would have knocked it on. Towed it ahead, had the speed to get to the ball just before the dead ball area. You know, Rondebosch were under pressure for the first 4 minutes of this half. You know, inside there, you know, SACS had them pinned inside their half, but one attack all the way forward, and Rondebosch comes away. Technically, their first attack of the second half. Rondebosch comes away with the try. It's absolutely fantastic to see.
Amazing stuff there. And SACS were caught napping there.
I think that cameraman had to do something. He had to stay on his seat, you know, have the photo as evidence in case SACS decides after the game to dispute it. He would have had a brilliant picture right there.
So Rostone been impressive with the boot today. Only missed one kick. And Bosch already in the driving seat here. 24 points up at the moment. SACS haven't beaten Rondebosch on Memorial Day since 2014. And it's going to take a lot for them to turn this around here. Rostone. It's like he's playing guitar at the moment. What a kick by Sir Rostone.
It's so simple, so basic. Head down, ensure that you're kicking through it, carrying your momentum right through the ball. And he's making solid contact with his conversions. He's making it look too easy. But Rondebosch, I believe that had they had this sort of performances throughout the season, we would have seen a different side. We would have seen a side that would easily been in the top 10.
Rondebosch can get a result here and a result next week. Their season with 9 out of 19 victories will be all forgotten because it all comes down to these two games. Rondebosch in the driving seat. Ruda at fullback decides to kick it into the trees. SACS with the 22. Time now for SACS to score.
SACS with a good attacking opportunity here with the line-out. The line-outs haven't been too great thus far. You know, Rondebosch have been disrupting them, and it's kind of stifled the momentum that SACS has had. But like I said, everything's going to revolve around Klepo now. If he can receive this ball and get his backline going, unfortunately we see it again. You know, Rondebosch disrupting the line out once again. It's an area of the field that they've absolutely dominated throughout the game thus far. The only thing SACS can say we've had the upper hand in is scrum time.
Well, the Giants SACS have not woken up yet, and time will tell if they do. Stone going for a kick pass, Cederberg underneath it. And that's a good tackle by Jordan Child. Here's Mazulo. He's been quiet. Tries to beat his first defender. Knocked down by Ruda. And it's a penalty to SACS. Wale, tap and go. Captain Klepu takes it up. Still going, the number 9. SACS looking to put some phases together and get a score. They desperately need it. Ball is slow at ruck time. Klepu, David Hayes. Anything can happen here. Cederberg's giving chase. And that is a wonderful finish by Sir Aaron Zederberg.
Absolutely fantastic try from SACS. You know, getting themselves a little bit of momentum, putting Rondebosch under pressure. The space was found in behind them. Little chip over, and Zederberg showing what he can do with those long, lanky legs, out-sprinting the Rondebosch defense, composing himself, making sure that he gets to the ball at the right time. As soon as the ball pops up off the ground, he's down there, he snaffles it, and he gets his side over for their first try of the game.
Spot this finish as Michael Abrams lines the kick up. And that's a disappointing kick from the number 15. So SACS, they need to score 2 or 3 tries in the next 20 minutes to be in with a shout. Pressure times for the oldest school in the country, but they have something to shout about at the moment. Kalipa, the Academy Week hooker, is on the field at number 16. He'll be looking to make an impact. Bosch have been formidable.
Rondebosch just taking the time to get to the restart, knowing that the more time they take, the more pressure will be mounting on the SACS boys' shoulders. So hopefully this next 5 minutes is going to be crucial, and especially for SACS for the final outcome of the game.
The Giants is looking to wake up. Lepu carries it up. Hayes has to play at scrum off. Storm Bolshin looks like he's on the field as well. The lock forward. Lepu finds Joshua Barrett. The big tight head prop under pressure. Bosch going for the choke tackle. And do they have it? Who is coming out with it? It looks like it's Rondebosch. Stolen goods at ruck time. Rondebosch with a crucial turnover. And I think they've lost it now. They have. SACS scrum. Great scenes at ruck time.
Now once again, Rondebosch, just dominating the contact area, getting 2 or 3 players onto the tackled player, making sure they hold him up for long enough to force the maul, take it to ground. Good, excellent work again there to get themselves over the ball, win back possession. And just as it seemed as though they were going to launch an attack on SACS and snipe through the defense, unfortunately they lose the ball and SACS come away with a scrum feed. We should see again SACS dominate the scrum.
Well, it's up to the senior players of SACS, Lepu and David Hayes and Zederberg to have something to say about this result. Hayes looking on the inside. Can't find Zederberg. Bosch again with good defense. Storm Bolshin carrying it up. Lepu. Yes, Kalipa. And there's almost a breakout by SACS. Looking to score the next points. Sean Menard. SACS with some momentum at the moment. Declan O'Connor has carried strong all season. Lepu. Kalipa goes back into the traffic. Lepu. David Hayes puts it onto the boots. Work for Ruda. Decides not to have a go and he sends it downtown. So SACS could have a go here. And it has to start now. Mazulo. He's electrifying. Mazulo trying to break from inside his own half. Almost ripping out of the tackle, and he does. Great run by the outside centre. Lepu. Barrett, get out of the road. SACS with numbers on the left, but Lepu decides to show and go. David Hayes, the Beaver, Chad van der Loo, carrying it up. SACS are not giving up. Good carry by Storm Bolshin. Oliver Skiermans is over that ball. Lepu, big rig. Fighting O'Connor. This is the SACS we know. Looking to put the hammer down. Oh, big rig. Look at that step. Normally plies his trade at loose head prop, but he's at lock. Declan O'Connor. Lepu. This is fantastic stuff by SACS. Van der Loo. Mazulo still has it. Let's play on. Zederberg, the hot stepper. SACS desperately need a score. And Bosch, they might have the turnover here. It's free fall. Penalty to Rondebosch. That is significant.
There we see SACS building up the momentum, getting their carries going, breaking over the advantage line. Rondebosch slipping 1 or 2 tackles here and there, but they've managed to compose themselves long enough that as soon as SACS spread the ball wide, they had numbers there, committed to the breakdown, got their loose forwards in there, drove over the SACS counter-attack brilliantly, and ended up winning the penalty on the far side.
Just a shout out to David Forbes, SACS old boy, watching all the way from Holland. I'm sure you'll be egging on your boys to make a historic comeback here. They've done it before. So Bosch looking to just get the job done here in the last 20 minutes. SACS looking to throw the kitchen sink at Bosch.
I think the one thing Rondebosch can't do is that they can't afford to just sit back and rest on their laurels thinking, we've got enough of a lead, we've got enough of a cushion. Let's just, try and run the clock down as much as we can. Because as soon as that happens, as soon as they get into this, a little bit of comfort zone, SACS are going to pounce, and SACS are going to feed off that, and they're going to get themselves up. But certainly we see there now from the line, Rondebosch have been absolutely dominant there. They set up the rolling ball, and they're continuing with their momentum. They don't seem to be wanting to rest on this 19-point lead that they built up.
It was a beautiful sight there. Nothing better than seeing a roving Sherman tank on a Saturday on Memorial Day. So, SACS under the cosh. Bosch looking for another score and for a killer blow. There's Fanta popping up like a pop-up toaster. Fanta, it's been brilliant. Stone, here's the king, Zakasali, wrapping it around to Stone. Ethan Seymour, wonderful stuff. Ruda, the fullback, inside the 22. And they go blind, there's a bit of space here. Devious play down the blind side. Bosch somehow still have the ball. And then Matty Gray knocks it on. Mazulo. SACS, they need a go from their own 22 here. Tlepu, Abrams though, decides to send it down Ruda's throats. But we're coming back. Getting ahead of myself there, Tauriq.
Yeah, no, excellent play there from Rondebosch, keeping SACS under all sorts of pressure, making the SACS defense work absolutely hard for the ball. Rondebosch they know that as long as we're keeping the ball, as long as we keeping it tight, keeping it nice and compact, SACS have got to put in the tackles. If they're going to miss their first time tackles, Rondebosch are going to get over the advantage line, and they're going to end up putting the cover defense of SACS under all sorts of pressure, how they have been for the game so far.
Well, SACS, they kind of need a coast-to-coast try here. They need to go the distance. Skeurmans finds Vanderloo, always plays with a lot of passion. Does the matric, the number 12. Skeurmans. SACS with a lot to prove. And that is a massive tackle by Sir Carl Smits. His brother Rain will be proud of that. SACS out of the 22 almost. David Hayes. They need something magical. Bosch defense resolute. Tlepu. Oh, out the back door there. It's an overlap if they can get quick hands. Beautiful stuff to Capella Mokwena. Mokwena, this guy can run. This could be sensational. 50 meters, 40 meters. Look at the boy go. Wrapping on the inside to Tlepu. Michael Abrams. This is fantastic stuff. Over the try line. And it's hold up. What a sight.
Yeah, there we go. This is the SACS side that we've come to see. Not afraid to get the ball through the hands quickly. Give it to the speed. So goes on a sniping run. SACS all over Rondebosch. But once again, Rondebosch, the cover defense comes around. They put in the big tackle when it's needed most, and they hold the ball up over the line. SACS now again remaining on the attack, remaining up there on the Rondebosch 5-meter line with a scrum, and again a scrum that has been working SACS's way all this time.
They need to get Capella Mokwena the ball. What a sight. Capella Mokwena. He's going to go far the right winger. It's a big product. Quick and big. Schlepu, SACS looking to score. Hayes. Mokwena, the right winger. Bosch looking for the turnover. It's a free-for-all at the moment, and Bosch won't mind that at all. And they've got the penalty. Brilliant on defense.
Yeah, this has set the standard for Rondebosch throughout the game, is that defense. They're making the first-time tackles, and as soon as that happens, one or two players come in to contest the breakdown. They've been absolutely phenomenal in that phase of the game. And here we see once again, it comes to the forward, stands out, and snuffs out SACS's attack. Rondebosch come away with the ball. They can relieve the pressure. So it's a simple thing now. Fine touch, retain possession.
Well, the great teams, the great Bosch teams, the unbeaten Bosch teams that have been around will be really, really proud of this. It's been a great performance. 15 minutes to go. Those unbeaten sides in 1960, 1967 and 1977. They will be very proud of this performance. Ahmedin, Seth Christian, he's been a live wire at loose set prop. You'd think he's a flank. Davis. So, Bosch looking to do the bread and butter stuff. Davis. And there's your man, Tauriq Fanta again. I think he's lost his headband. Davis. Stone, wonderful stuff. Stone. Ruda, the danger man. He's a small customer, but he makes a lot of yards.
Yeah, the attack of Rondebosch has been very simple. You know, it's been throw the man, pass the ball, throw the man, pass the ball. That's all that they've been doing to the SACS defense. And the only reason why they're getting over the advantage line every single time is because SACS are not making their first-time tackles. You know, that has been their Achilles heel this entire game. So that they're not sticking to their tackles. And as soon as that happens, Rondebosch picks up their momentum and gets himself on the front foot.
And Fanta, my goodness, gets a turnover. He's been a star performer, but SACS still have the ball. Here they go. They've got tons of numbers on the left-hand side. Hayes, they need a straighten. Vanderloo. And Bosch have just been fantastic, and they're going to have a go here. Sakasali, he's a man for the big occasion. Bosch in firm control. Davis, Ginsberg, beautiful hands. Christian, Seth Christian. Oh, look at the loose head prop go, and the offload too. It's got a bag of tricks. Ross Stone will fly off. Davis goes blind. Jordan Child back on the inside of Davis. And then Ginsberg lets it go. Enterprising stuff from Rondebosch.
You know, once again, SACS defense certainly letting them down. They're slipping too many tackles, and Rondebosch are making them pay for it. Rondebosch are all over them when they have the ball in hand. You know, there's no way you're going to end up winning a game if you can't make tackles. If your defensive line is not solid and your players are not making the tackles, there's no way you're going to be able to contest the ball and win back position. And Rondebosch has been thriving on that.
Well, Dallin Stanford, the old Rondebosch boy, also part of that famous 1997 side. He'll be watching in the US. He's played sevens for the US. And is also involved in commentary on that side of the world. Van der Loo trying to get it back on the inside of Zederberg. Rondebosch. They just have to survive another 13 minutes. SACS need 3 tries, at least 3 tries in the last 12 minutes. Abrams finds Mokwena. This bloke will have a go again. Mokwena gets the offload, but somehow doesn't find Abrams. And Bosch could be dangerous here if they get quick ball. They're surviving these counter-attacks by SACS. And there's the big man, Chadu. He's had a good game, the number 5. Christian again. Oh, look at this. Wonderful stuff on a loose head prop. My goodness. Get this boy more in the back line. Davis. And he pops it up to Child. Rondebosch. Looking like they are in the top 10 in the country. Davis, Christian, again. That's his 3,000th carry of the day. Davis pops it to Ginsberg. And Ginsberg is over, and that's sign set and delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with you. It certainly seems Rondebosch is the top 10 side, and SACS are, languishing somewhere else. But all of that came from Seth Christian. It seems like there's nothing this guy can't do. He scrums well. He carries the ball strongly. He's got a hot step on him for a loose forward. He can chip and chase. And, well, what else do you want? When you've got a player like that who can ignite something from anywhere, it's always going to get the side, your side rather, on the front foot. And we see what the end result is that Rondebosch gets over for yet another try.
The best thing about Seth Christian is he's only in grade 11, so he'll be around next year. And I'm sure he's going to go far. As you mentioned, Tauriq, just popping up everywhere in that phases of play. And Bosch have really looked the outfit today.
I was amazed when I watched Bishops play that the hooker Khalib Kenny, he was the one kicking at goal. He was the one, doing the restarts. But here we see Rondebosch as well. Seth Christian, a loose head prop who can basically do it all. I would have actually liked to see him have this conversion. Maybe see if he can kick it as well.
Well, at the moment it's heartbreak for SACS. Jubilation for Rondebosch. 26 points the difference.
"26 points, the difference, as you mentioned, inside the final 10 minutes of the game. Is there a way back for SACS? It's rugby. Anything can happen. It's not over until the final whistle goes. But you certainly feel that Rondebosch have gained enough of a gap between themselves and their opponents to take this game. And they certainly have all the momentum right now. Nothing that or rather everything that they're doing is turning to gold.
Let's play on. Berlin, open side flanker. SACS looking for some consolation scores at the moment. Glepu finds Barrett. Glepu, David Hayes back on the inside of Zederberg. Can he finish? Sensational try by Aaron Zederberg, and he's got a double.
That is exactly what we want to see from SACS. We want to see them split open the Rondebosch defense the way they've done there. It's a little bit of an angle run, a pop on the inside for the flyer, and he goes sniping through to grab his second. That's exactly what we wanted to see from SACS from during the first half and the 26 minutes of the second half. But let's hope in this final 10 minutes that SACS does lift their game a little bit more, and that they keep going with this momentum, a little bit of momentum that they built up from this try, and that they can narrow that gap down to hopefully give themselves a chance inside that last 5 or maybe even 2 minutes, that they are in touching distance of Rondebosch, and maybe they could steal a late winner.
Well, when SACS get it right, they really get it right, and that was just a beautiful play by David Hayes and Zederberg. 8 minutes to go on Memorial Day. 36 points to 13. Bosch with the kick. Van der Loo, Glepu, SACS won't give up. Hayes, he's like Bernard Foley when he gets going. Just on the 22. Oliver Skeurmans plays at scrum off. Kalipa back on the inside to Van der Loo. He's carried strong all game. Glepu, Ethan Berger. Glepu, David Hayes, Abrams, and he has a chance on the right wing. They carry it up towards halfway. SACS throwing everything at Bosch now. Skeurmans. Glepu, Kapela Mokwena. Great defense by Rondebosch. Glepu, Abrams. It's a good play here by Declan O'Connor. SACS. Bosch are just soaking up this pressure at the moment. SACS need a line break. Barrett. Glepu. Ethan Berger. Still going, but he's going backwards. Van der Loo has to play at scrum off. Cole Smith trying to get the turnover and the choke tackle. SACS still have it. Hayes. Tons of numbers on the right-hand side of the field. And here's the gas man, Mokoena. Great run by the right winger. And he's lost that forward. Bosch doing well to defend.
Yeah, SACS trying everything that they have at Rondebosch, and all Rondebosch is doing, they're readjusting their lines, they're getting players in the right positions, you know, sticking that first time tackle, ensuring that SACS do not break over the advantage line, and you know, as a result, puts even more pressure on SACS. So whenever a player has the ball, he feels that he needs to do something, as we saw with Kapelo Mokoena there now. As he got tackled, he felt that he needed to offload, when maybe the proper option was to take it onto the ground and set up the next phase.
So will Bosch go with a conservative option or look to close this game out in style? Davis, the number 9, goes blind. It's really been the Robbie Davis show on Memorial Day. Bosch carrying it up. And look at that, what a run. Slow at ruck time. Stone. DJ Faulkner plays dummy runner. Sali. Ross Ruda puts it onto the boots. Anything can happen. Child giving chase. And here's the danger man, Zederberg. Good defense by Rondebosch. Klepu goes blind. David Hayes. Abrams. And here's Ben Mazulo. Doing well to flirt with the touchline there. Staying in field. Klepu. Manor looking to free his hands in the tackle, but has to place it back. Klepu. Abrams with a bit of a step. Mazulo at scrum off, and he has a go. Good carry by the number 13. Seth Christian trying to go for the turnover. SACS still have it. Barrett. Klepu. Kalipa. Skiermans. Offloads it to Hayes. And he meets the robust frame. And Carl Smith. Jepu. Great pass by Vanderloo. Danger. And somehow Rondebosch hanging on here. Good run by Ethan Berger. SACS trying to score. They try and have something to shout about. Hayes. And they've let it go. Rondebosch. And there could be problems here. Sali. And the race is on. Mokoena is at the back, the danger man. And surely he'll have a go. Cabello. Mokoena looking to go around the outside of Sali. That's it. On the inside to Mazulo. Ben Mazulo. Still going, Mazulo. The crazy frog. Causing havoc for Rondebosch. Some enterprising stuff by SACS, and then they lose it. That's been the story of their game, Tauriq.
Yeah, every time it seems that SACS builds up a bit of momentum, gets themselves onto the front foot, a little handing error here or there, or some excellent defense, you know, by Rondebosch, or excellent work at the breakdown by Rondebosch, forces SACS into a mistake, and you know that's been the net result for like you said, majority of the game. But once again, you know, Rondebosch, despite SACS seeming to have the momentum, Rondebosch continued to make those first-time tackles, continued to put SACS under pressure in those areas, and that forces SACS to make their decisions a little bit quicker, and that forces errors.
So Rondebosch with the scrum. Just under 3 minutes to go on Memorial Day. It's going to be a day to remember for Rondebosch. And what an incredible week it's going to be in that build-up to that clash with Bishops on the Tinky Haynes. Next week, Jordan Child is going to have a go, and he runs straight and hard. Yeah, they go. This is a good breakout. But we're coming back. Kaplan spots a penalty.
Yeah, it's a little off the ball niggling there from Robbie Davis on his opponent, but you know, you can expect that with Rondebosch having this lead. You know, they'll have a bit of I don't want to use the word arrogance, but they'll have a little bit more confidence than SACS when it comes to these things, and they'll be reminding their SACS opponents about it.
Klepu goes blind. Mazulo with the toe ahead. Mokoena. Mazulo trips. Mokoena. And you got a feel for him. He's had a great game, Mokoena.
Yeah, unfortunately, once again there for SACS, an excellent attacking opportunity, getting the hands on the ball, getting over the advantage line on a rare occasion, having the try line at their mercy, and unfortunately we see a handling error coming into play once again. Story of the game for SACS, unfortunately.
So, will we see some rugby played on heaven from the scrum? Will Bosch look to go the distance? Or will they just soak up the clock under pressure at scrum time? And Smuts, he's been inspirational, the number 8, following in the footsteps of his brother, Ruda. So, line out to SACS.
That's all that's needed from Rondebosch, is secure the ball at scrum time, ensure that there's enough space for your fullback or fly half to get a decent kick in. He's done just that, made sure of the touch and made sure that he kicks the ball far enough over the touchline that one of the members of the crowd touches the ball to stop SACS from having a quick throw in.
Kalipa with the feed, Ekemifuno is at the back. And here comes SACS. Area in midfield, picked up by McDonald. Great off though to Fundaloo, the great 12, Chad Fundaloo, and they might have the final say. Great finish by the Beaver, Chad Fundaloo.
Yeah, Chad Fundaloo showing exactly what is needed in terms of an individual effort. Handing off the first defender, getting through, and he spotted the mismatch at the back with the forward in front of him. He knew he had the pace to go around him. Well done to the young man.
Fitting finish to the game as well. Something to shout about. We still have time, it looks like it. It's not over yet. Maybe there'll be another try. We've seen some brilliant tries, Tauriq, in this game. It's been fantastic.
No, both sides have put on an excellent display for schoolboy rugby in Cape Town, and it's nice to be a part of such a game where it's played in a good spirit. Both teams are giving it their all and looking to score as many tries as they can.
Kalipa, wonderful pass by the hooker, Mazzillo. Oh, great run by the number 13. Bosch knock it on. Jonathan Capnon signals the end of the game. The Bosch supporters are going absolutely berserk, and the Triple Crown for Rondebosch is well and truly alive with their game next week, Tauriq.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what was wanted, was that everything sets itself up for next week for the final game between Rondebosch and Bishops. Got to give credit to Rondebosch in this game. Their defense had everything going. The defense is basically what set it up for them. They were making their first time tackles. They dominated the set pieces in terms of the lineouts. They dominated the breakdown, and that put SACS under immense amount of pressure. It was all kind of, the writing was on the wall at the end of that first half when Rondebosch had enough of a lead.
And it was more that opening 20 minutes that really shocked SACS. Bosch taking an early lead, and news just then that Bishops have in fact beaten Wynberg on the Party Reese, 31 points to 18. So it's going to be an F&B classic clash next week. Tauriq, winner takes it all for the Triple Crown. Bosch, while with a victory against the 5th place team in the country, it really makes their season look so much better.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the games that define your season, and I'm sure Rondebosch, when they look back at the whole season that they've had and try and analyze things, this is probably the game that they're going to look back and say, that is what our season was about. That is the performance that we wanted to have put in all the previous games, and especially on the big stage like this, with the Triple Crown on the line, knowing that they needed to come here to win the game, to set themselves up for next week's game, to be able to take the Triple Crown. Hats off to Rondebosch, but well done to SACS as well. Things didn't really gel for them today. It didn't really come together. But, they live to fight another day. Despite this last 2 results not going their way, especially up here in Cape Town, you can't take anything away from the season that SACS have had.
What's really remarkable is that although this is Rondebosch's first victory against the top 20 school this year, if you take the Southern Suburb teams and you put them into a pool, they are actually first on the log, which is remarkable. It just shows you how interesting schoolboy rugby is. and what Derby Day actually means to the game.
It's just something about Derby Day that can lift the underdog easily, you know. This is exactly what we saw today. Rondebosch was certainly the underdog. SACS have had the better season, but at the moment the whistle blew, even with the failed kickoff, a little bit of a wounded rabbit, you know, Rondebosch were on top from that moment. Rondebosch took the game to SACS in the first half, and that proved to be the difference. Was that opening 20 minutes of the game where Rondebosch were all over SACS, set the tone for the rest of the game. Rondebosch walk away smiling.
Tauriq, just look at the Bosch supporters. It's a special day for them. SACS have not beaten Rondebosch on Memorial Day since 2014. And Tauriq, you could probably guess who your man of the match is going to be. But who was the standout player? Who was the difference for Rondebosch today?
Well, there was quite a few players that stood out to me, especially from the Rondebosch side. You know, you look at Seth Christian, who could basically do it all. Jason McLeod-Smith, better known as Fanta. You know, he was phenomenal, especially in lineouts. You know, that's where his prolific playing ability came to the fore. And then, you know, scum off Robbie Davis, who dictated play. You know, he controlled everything. But like you said, if you're gonna put it down to one man, I'm gonna have to go with Fanta. I think Fanta, you know, besides the strong carries that they had, you know, he set the tone at line-out time. You know, winning opposition ball, and any time you can win the ball off opposition's line-out, you're gonna have your side on the front foot.
Well, Rondebosch going to play Bishops next week. It's going to be a classic showdown. Winner takes it all. The winner will get the triple crown. SACS, well, they go down to Hawthornden and Wynberg for their rivalry. From Tauriq and I, it's been a wonderful day, and it will really be a memory for Rondebosch. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
I tell him it's Puza too much. Right,